Alright, I'm gonna review a couple movies since I'm bored right now. These are some movies I highly recommend for you if you haven't seen them. I hope you can see here. There's not a lot of light here. But anyway, this is Tom Cruise Last Samurai. You might think, this movie's gonna suck because it's whitewashed. It's got a white actor in a you know, Japanese theme, basically. But it's not about that. It's about this guy is pretty much fighting in the Civil War and gets pretty much disillusioned with the army and all the people they killed, like all the Indians and stuff, and how corrupt they are. And so he's struggling with his own demons. He drinks a lot, but he's a very good soldier, and he's sent him to Japan to kind of train these new soldiers because they want to modernize Japan. But in turn, he has to get rid of the samurai there, which have this tradition for years and years, centuries. And so, pretty much, the Emperor of Japan decreed to, get modernized, and he ends up falling in love with the culture and getting rid of his demons, and he fights for the side of ancient Japan, the old way of life in Japan, which gave their, basically their lives to the shogun, in this case the emperor. But in the end, they get slaughtered. But it's very cool. It even has a part where there's ninjas in it. So, because the emperor, I guess, sends like ninjas to assassinate. And that fight scene is one of my favorite fight scenes ever. Like, you could feel the intensity. I was like, wow, this is fucking cool. You like ninjas and samurais? This is the movie for you. This is a very good movie. Last Samurai. And the soundtrack is amazing. It's visually it's beautiful. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. So that's number one. Number two here, Jet Li's Fearless. This is my favorite Jet Li movie because it's very dramatic. It's about this fighter that lived in China, and he was basically the best fighter in those days, and he beat everybody, every opponent. And one time he got in a fight uh, because one of his disciples started a fight with one of the other masters, and the fight got pretty bad, out of control, and he ended up killing this other teacher from another school. And so that family, they get their revenge and they kill his Jet Li's daughter. And so he goes kind of crazy, like he goes to the wilderness and he loses his mind, kind of, you know. And then it shows a progression, like he goes to a rural place where there's a blind girl and they help him out. And little by little, he gets his humanity back. He remembers who he is, and he starts fighting again. And in the end, there's a fight between a this big British guy representing England, and they were talking a lot of shit against the Chinese back then. So he represents China. He kicks his ass, but it's pretty good action, very dramatic, and it's like both of these movies, The Last Samurai and The Fearless, they kind of deal with rising up again. Like sometimes life knocks you on your ass. You know, knocks you down on your ass, and so those movies deal with uh, rising from the ashes, you could say, and finding your humanity again. Pretty good movie, very inspirational. Last but not least, Ghost in the Darkness with Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer. This is one of my favorite movies too. Basically, British Empire again. They're in Africa, but they're having a hard time because there's lions, actual lions from Savo that they don't have any mange, but in the movie they show them with manges, but the real ones are in the Chicago Museum of Art and History, I believe, or I think they're in the Field Museum. Yeah, they're in the Field Museum, and these lions basically killed everybody in that camp that was working on that railroad, like hundreds of people, and they don't understand to this day why these lions would just attack and kill people. They wouldn't even eat the people; they would just kill them. And so they find the cave, and eh, actually, those lions they were so fierce that all the workers left. They left the place because they didn't want to die. They sent Remington, I guess this guy is Remington, Michael Douglas, and he gets killed in the movie. But in the end, Val Kilmer, pretty much kills the lions, and there were two of them, I believe. But this is a very great movie, uh, based on history. The Lions of Savo. So if you like lions, big cats, games, action and history, you're gonna love this. So those three movies I highly recommend for you guys, and I hope you enjoy them. All right, bye bye.